Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am live. I am here. I see there are people in the room. Hello, Dee. Hello, Julia. Good morning and blessings to you too. Hi, 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 hi. Blessed Sunday morning. Moon is in Gemini. Sun is still in Aries. And, oopsie. And yesterday, Pluto went retrograde. We could talk about that. So I looked it up. A lot of illusions are going to be busted. A lot of lies are going to come to the surface. A lot of deceptions are going to be destroyed and brought into the open. Should be an interesting period. Goes on for, I think, a month or so. Very interesting. Let's see how that sucker plays out. I hope you are all well. Welcome to our schmooze minutes. It's not really a schmooze hour. But because the moon is in Gemini at the moment, we're going to talk about the power of air, the mind, meditation, prayer, breath work, all that kind of air-oriented stuff, truth versus illusion, and all that jazz. Good morning, warrior goddess. Yeah, no, I think Pluto retrograde is probably going to be a good thing. I've already had a little dose of it myself. I did not get much sleep last night. Now I have a reading today at 2 p.m. that I have to get ready for. So I am going to take a nap before the figure will be done around 12. Yeah, that gives me an hour and a half to just nap and reboot. Maybe get another cup of coffee in me. Oh, hold on. Sorry, drag fan hit the floor. So yeah, I'm still in my sweatshirt. The person that I'm reading doesn't mind that I'm in a sweatshirt. Hello, Donna. Good morning, sweetheart. Yeah, I went to bed relatively early for me. Let's see, maybe like, I don't know, midnight. I started watching some YouTube, some RuPaul's Drag Race stuff, which was good, lovely. Just funny stuff. Needed a break from some of the serious. And then while I was laying down to meditate, some things started to occur to me. And you know, when things occur to you, it's like, I think that was a lie. You know, and then I was like, oh yeah. Didn't Pluto go retrograde? Yeah, it went retrograde 2:54 p.m. Eastern time. I find that very interesting. Yeah, it is a nappy day. I mean, it's definitely overcast and rainy here in beautiful Holbrook, Long Island. My cats have been extra snuggly. Well, if you saw the video that I did today with Savvy, he's so cute. Slow blinking at the camera. He's such a camera hog. Well, I guess he learned it from me. Us Leo risings, you know. So I figured I would do a Sunday morning service today. Just because I've been doing them. I've been doing them for the past couple of weeks. I started a new, well, I didn't start the project. I guess I began, I should say, outlining the format for some spiritual practice videos that I'm going to do recorded, so that I have the template done. The template is done, so I just have to like record the stuff and pop it in. But different meditations and spiritual practices and stuff that help me, because I've been saying for a while now that to me being a spiritual teacher has changed. Not that I've changed as a spiritual teacher, but my definition of a spiritual teacher is someone who teaches by example. Number one, it's the most important thing. I don't care what comes out of your mouth. If you're not living it, if it's not coming out through your conduct, not that we can't have bad days. I mean, come on, there are days where I'm angry. Guess what? I get angry. Mars conjunct Leo rising, that I get angry when I get angry. It's quick. It's explosive, but it moves through me. So to teach by example, even when no one's around, right? Like that's honor. And being truthful in the present moment's one thing, and absolutely a necessity in this time that we're in. But what do you do when nobody else is watching? That's where your honor really comes into play. But then also sharing what works for you, but only for those who ask. No more proselytizing. Oy, it's so annoying. You know what you should do? No, but you're going to tell me anyway. It's like I've already shut down. Just, if you have to say, you know what you should do, then I'm not going to hear what you say. So I'm just saying. I haven't been on Facebook yet, nor have I had coffee yet in my kingdom for a 7-Eleven. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. No, 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 no. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I crawl downstairs from my bed. Good morning. Good morning, Mari. I do my coconut oil pulling for my teeth. Good morning, Bridget. So, you know, I got to spit that out in the garbage because you don't want to spit coconut oil down the drain of your bathroom or kitchen sink because it will clog. It will just congeal again. And then I brush my teeth because you don't walk around with oil mouth. Brush my teeth. Then I do my Wim Hof breathing. At least 3 rounds. I've only been feeling like doing 3 rounds, and I no longer do it with the app. I was doing it with the app, but it was like really forcing me. Like I actually think I might have bruised some muscles in my rib cage. I was breathing so hard and so deep. It's like, you know what, Mark? I get it. He's 61. You're 51. Take it down a notch. You can just breathe, right? So I got rid of the app, but the app was wonderful. I highly recommend it. But then I do that, and then I have my coffee. Yeah, got it. Sorry, you don't know what I'm saying. Got it too, Donna. Haven't had much coffee yet either. Woke up nauseous. Good morning, Grace. Good morning. Well, you know, there's a lot going on planet Earth. Obviously, we know what's going on planet Earth, and obviously, I'm not allowed to talk about it directly on the tube of the U. But I'm willing to dance around the subject, wordsmith that I am. But we also can be very aware that there are a lot of lies going on. Now, by the way, lies have been on the planet since men can speak, I'm pretty sure. I didn't say women, I said men. There have been lies and illusions. And it's one thing if it's a misperception, like if somebody really believes it's true and they pass on that information, that's one thing. But when really it's just a deliberate lie, that's called a deception, right? Or a sin of omission where you just don't, you know, well, I didn't lie, but you didn't tell the truth either. Good morning from Scotland, Leonard Christopher. Hey, arg. That's a pirate thing, not necessarily a Scottish thing. I love the Scottish brogue. Really, all it would take for a guy to sweep me off my feet at this point would just to be truthful and probably to have an accent of some kind, even a Southern accent, like need not be international, but doesn't hurt. Yeah. So blessings all. Blessings all. Why, thank you. I'm glad you love my channel. I've been building it for years, but it's only been since summer solstice of last year that I started doing readings on it, and it opened up a whole other career for me that I never saw coming, which does say something about the divine plan being all twisty-turny, right? You never know. You never know what your life is going to be. As I've been saying in some of these streams, considering the global situation right now, I'm like, who had this on their vision board? Who cut out pictures of this and was meditating on it every day? That's annoying. Knock it off. Right? No one. Munching away on townhouse flip sides, crackers on one side and pretzels on the reverse. Carbs. You live in the Highlands just past Loch Ness. Do you know how many women are going to like trail after you now because of Outlander? A lot. Like, this is not the room to be saying that if you don't want like women sniffing after you. They sniff after me and I'm gay. I don't even own a kilt. I do have Scottish blood in me though. My paternal grandmother's side. Yeah, no, I got a chicken Parmesan pizza. The pizza place around the corner for me is really good, and they deliver it like really fast because they're around the corner. So I've been eating that for the past couple of days. I'll get a huge like 8-slice pie and just like have 2 slices a day. I have other food in the house. It's not like I'm just eating pizza, but you know, that's my thing. Italian. Boy, I'm only quarter Italian, but it's predominant. It's predominant. Because both of those grandparents were from Sicily, so it wasn't like northern and southern blend. Nope, pure 100% Sicilian from that part of the family. Scotch is a drink, sweetheart. Scottish. I learned that. I had someone correct me on it once. I never had to be corrected on it again. So look, we're going to get down to the Sunday morning service. You can continue to chat as a... Yeah, it is. Chicken Parmesan pizza is really good. You guys can chat and do whatever you want to do. I'm going to do what the divine woke me up this morning telling me to do. I don't care if you're telling each other jokes while I'm doing it. Why? Because the moon's in Gemini, and do you know how much I care? That much, and it's not even concentrated. Good. So I'm going to do the opening prayer. You can all gargle peanut butter. You can tell I'm a little over it. The moon is in Gemini, but Pluto is retrograde, which might very well be the I don't give a whatever deal. Considering it's Lord Hades, Pluto, my beloved Lord Hades, god of death, lord of the underworld, husband of Persephone, who is without her right now. She's above ground, so maybe I'll go visit him today. Why not? Plus, I have a half-hour reading today with somebody who's in the room. I won't say who, because I try not to out people unless absolutely necessary. But I bet a lot of things are going to get outed, Pluto retrograde. So let's talk about the power of air. But first, let's say a prayer. Because unintentional rhyming seems to be a thing I do. Let's do this. Let's breathe. Just a couple of nice full deep breaths, but if you're going to close your eyes and breathe deeply, please make sure you are physically secure. And what I mean by that is that if you hyperventilate and pass out, that you're not going to hit a solid thing, right? Just make sure you are not just comfortable but safe and secure in terms of your physical stability and all that jazz. As I focus on my breath, I am brought fully into the present moment where there is no past and there is no future, so there is no worry and there is no guilt. There is no wonder about what may be, and there is no regret over what was. There's only the now, there's only the breath, where there are no problems, where there is peace. Even if there is discomfort in the present moment, I can breathe into that and just be. Allowing the psychic static in my energy field and around me to just retreat into the background. As I listen to my own breath, the inhale, the exhale. I find myself relaxing without even trying. I find myself being, not doing, as the breath does itself. I feel the clouds receding from the center point of my awareness, which is beyond thought. A stillness, a silence within that feels like the safety of home. And it's from this place I offer this prayer. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, higher power, great light, source, great spirit, we surrender this time spent together to you. May it serve your purposes, because we're here only to be truly helpful. We are here to represent you who sent us. We don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because you who sent us are directing us, and we are content to go wherever you wish, knowing that you go along with us and that we will be healed as you teach us to heal. Please show us this day what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom. As we get a deeper experience of trust, as we get a deeper experience of truth, that we understand that we have believed things that were never true. We understand that we have ingested and embraced things that were temporarily true but no longer are. And that all along we have the availability to embrace what is truth. That which has never changed, whether we understood it or not, like bedrock under our feet. And in this Pisces moon, Sunday, the day of the sun, the day of light, the day of truth, the day of healing, we ask that our filters be cleared, that our minds be healed, that our minds be corrected where we are under false pretenses, that we are able to release those with grace, that the cotton batting be removed from around our eyes, both the physical and the third eye, that we may seek only truth in a new way, that we may see clearly, that we may know beyond doubt the truth of who we are, the truth of who you are, even if just for a moment, and that we are loved, that this life is not the only life, and this world is not the only world, and there is a golden timeline where all of us survive this, happy, healthy, wealthy, and wiser than how it began. That though we are in the crucible is not where we will always be. Though we are in the fires of transformation, a time of forced introspection, that this is somehow all for our greatest good and our highest joy, and that we will know ourselves, not just intellectually, but a good place to start, as happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser incarnations of you. The divine singularity manifested in the multitude, the one appearing as many, all for the well-being of all. Thank you. So mote it be, and so it is. Take a minute. Take a minute. What kind of retrograde? What planet? Pluto retrograde. I have Pluto in Virgo as well. It's the furthermost planet out. So get that the Sun, Mercury, Venus, the Moon, Mars. These are what are called the personal planets, in that they have shorter orbits, so they move quicker, so they're more personal, right? So you can meet people born within the same week, and they'll have a different sun sign and moon sign and rising sign. Could be sun sign too if it's on the cusp of it. But the outer planets are generational. So when you look at Jupiter, right? Jupiter changes signs once a year. Then we have Saturn, right? Like your Saturn return can be a really big deal. It is always a really big deal. Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. Those are very generational. Pluto, I believe, is still in Capricorn. Has been, I believe, since the O.J. Simpson trial. I think it's a long time. So when it retrogrades, because I looked it up, because I saw it, because I will always promote this calendar. I get like Llewellyn doesn't know who I am. I have the Witches calendar, the 2020 Witches calendar. I get it every year. Llewellyn also puts out an astrological calendar, but it's got so much information on it that it gives you like daily transits and stuff. I'm like, it's too much for my head. But yesterday at 2:54 p.m. Eastern, the Pluto went retrograde. So Pluto is the transformer. It's more than meets the eye. It's the planet of death and rebirth, right? So when it retrogrades, it tends to be about exposing illusions, breaking down, destroying that which no longer serves. That death and rebirth is just part of the cycles of nature, you know. My mom sent me some seeds, right, that I'm going to plant. I have an egg carton and I've got topsoil outside. I'm not doing it today. It's icky out. But, you know, and I'm going to plant those seeds, right? Oh, we love renewal. Oh, we love planting seeds. Spring is so wonderful. And it goes through its life cycle. And then, you know, the fruit will be born, B-O-R-N-E. And then we'll drop seeds and around it goes again. So death is just a necessary part. And by the way, spoiler alert, no one gets out of this deal alive, at least with the same body. The soul is immortal, right? So we're probably going through a time where a lot of the lies, the deceptions, and like I said in the prayer, some things. Okay, here's another spoiler alert. Santa Claus, not a real dude. I like the spirit of, I like the idea of. To me, Santa Claus is the Dagda. Look up that one. Rather than toting around a bag, he's got a big cauldron, right? Very Stregonona for the north. So, of course, there are things as children that were told that are just flat out lies, right? I was so angry. I wasn't angry that Santa didn't exist. I was angry that my parents lied to me. But, you know, what are you going to do? Can you imagine little 9-year-old Mark with his little fists balled up, so angry? I will never trust you again. That's the kind of kid I was. Yeah, well, if it's glitchy, it's glitchy. Look, if it's, I have lost connection to the stream for some reason, so we'll catch you all on replay. Okay, Julia, you got it. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Don't care. Purple hair, don't care. So that's what sort of inspired. I knew I was going to do a Sunday service today. I just didn't know what the nature of that service would be until I woke up. And I did kind of get last night that certain things really came clear to me. It's like, wow, that was a lie. Wow, no, I bought that one hook, line, and sinker. And it kept me up for a while. Summary, it is what it is. That next week, all the fixed signs are going to be heavily affected by Uranus. Well, hopefully. If all the signs are heavily affected by Uranus, I really hope that it's clean. What is that? A genetic predisposition? I'm always going to go for that joke no matter what the form is. That's why I'm not an astrologer. I couldn't keep a straight face through a reading. Let's look at Uranus sign. It says stop. Good God. Anyway, so that's why the element of air, right? You know, the moon is in Gemini. I track more the moon sign than any other planet. I mean, everybody knows the sun sign, where the sun is. That's easy. That's easy enough. But I know you do, Rich. I know you do. I've been saying them for decades. But to get that, a lot of our own illusions we cling to so fervently because we really, really hope they're real. We really, really hope that they are true, particularly when they involve the things that we want, particularly when it comes to some of our sacred cows of spirituality. Like, for example, we create our own reality. Boy, has that been misinterpreted. Boy, has that been used to make a quick buck. Boy, has that been used to deceive people over the past couple of decades. We don't create our own reality. We co-create our own reality. And how we co-create our own reality is by the thoughts we choose and the stories, the narratives that we give to things, right? Like, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, guess I'll go eat worms. I mean, that's an attitude that you can take, that you can adopt. Or I can't trust anyone. Well, we've all been through that, but there are some people that you can trust. I don't know anybody who hasn't been betrayed. Okay, I don't know anybody who hasn't been lied to. I don't know anybody who hasn't been deceived. So this time of this Pluto retrograde may well be a time where we see that happening on a mass scale, where a lot of this betrayal stuff comes up and out. Now, I said in the Facebook stream that I did briefly this morning in the Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for Short Facebook group that we would talk a little bit about conspiracy theories, but we're not going to talk about any of them in particular. And if you chat about them, I'm going to ignore them because I'm not interested in conspiracy theories. But to get that they have been going on this planet forever, right? Forever. And I got into them a little bit in the 80s because I didn't know any better. I consign them all to the tinfoil hat woo-woo land, right? I am not even a casual visitor of tinfoil hat woo-woo land. I spent some time there in the New Age 90s and never to return. I am a witch. I am a New Yorker. I have 4 planets in Virgo. I have been lied to enough, mostly by men and also by women in this life. So yeah, it's one thing to lie to yourself. That's hard enough to look at. But when you realize that some of your spiritual beliefs are based in illusion as well, that can be really hard. So I'm just recommending to you all to really start looking at not just what's true, but what is truth. And of course that involves the geopolitical economic situation on planet Earth, but I'm not only talking about that. There are so many channels on YouTube that cover that self a lot. There's one in particular that I don't even subscribe to, but for some reason I get recommendations for all the time, called London Real. It's like, I'm like, okay, and I'll watch 1 or 2 of them, but some of it, it's just like tinfoil hat woo land in 3-piece suits. I'm just like, a lot of money goes into this stuff. I'm like, all right, well, if that's true, then that's true. There's not much I can do about it, because you know what? I know I'm going to croak eventually. And I know I'm probably going to have to come back. I don't know if I'm going to want to come back, but I'm probably going to have to come back to finish off some stuff. Maybe not. I would really like to visit another planet like Uranus, perhaps. There you go. You saw the orbit of that joke go around the universe and come back around again. So, you know, I would like to see what life is like on Venus. Mars, Jupiter, I'm sure is lovely this time of year, the gas giant that it is. I don't know, maybe go back to Betelgeuse. Maybe go to Arcturus. Maybe go to Antares, you know, see what the other star systems about here. Look, I'm sure extraterrestrials exist. I think they're mostly extra-dimensional, not just extraterrestrial, because 3rd dimension is what it is. 4th dimension, been there, done that, have the burnt t-shirt. You know, but 5th dimensional, I would love to spend some time on a 5th dimensional planet when the unity consciousness is the foundation of reality. I'd be down for that. But you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm a little tired, right? I'm just a little bit tired. I think we all are, of misinformation. And that's the thing about higher vibrational awareness. You can't be lied to. And this is why your intuition is so important. And that's why the divine feminine has been suppressed for so long, because when you're really in tune with your intuition, you can't really be lied to. So now we are seeing the rise of the divine feminine. It never went away, it was just repressed, so that we are able to feel something's off here. So as you know, I've been reading Matt Kahn's new book, and I talked about it earlier this week. The name of the book is it's upstairs in my bedroom. The universe always has a plan, the 10 golden rules of letting go. Well, the 3rd one is thankfulness fast tracks us through hardship. So I've been working that as a spiritual practice, and of course this is very mental stuff to start with. So he says cultivating the opposite, right? So if you have been betrayed, well, he says think of any situation that you were in, person, place, thing, whatever, and the emotion that you experienced, that was the hardship, right? Because how do we know it's a hardship? Usually it's by how we feel, right? Not just the physical aspect of it, because there are plenty of times where the physical aspect is really challenged, but we love it, like in sports or, you know, working out, or I don't know, a tricky crossword or something, a mystery that we're into, a hunt, so to speak. So, you know, I've been betrayed a lot in this life. And it took me a while to figure out why. Like, really, only in the past couple of months, I get why. Because I have a lot of charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. And not to blow my own horn, I'm good looking. People lie to good looking people all the time. I mean, my boyfriend Danny, who crossed over a few months ago, I mean, he lied about everything. And I was like, why would somebody lie that much? Because they were lied to. So what is the opposite of betrayal? Trust, right? So what he says to do is think of that situation, that person. You get a whiff of that feeling of being betrayed, and you say, thank you for this gift of trust. Now, you're not really saying it to that person, because once my trust in you is gone, I guess trust can be rebuilt, but it hasn't happened that often. I more than likely walk away from people and kind of close the door and say, well, that's fine. There's nothing I necessarily did to deserve being lied to. I don't believe in karma the way most people do. To me, karma is about, will you break the chain of pain or not? It's a fifth dimensional take on it. But to really get, okay, so you lied, you deceived. Thank you for this gift of trust. Thank you for this gift of trust. Because trust is a feeling, right? If betrayal is a feeling, then trust is a feeling. To trust my own gut, to trust my own truth. But what do you do when you've been following the signs, the clues, the tips, the hints that the divine sends you, and it doesn't take you to where you thought you were going or where you wanted to go? That right now, I think a lot of our spiritual sacred cows that may once have been true. See, here's the difference between true and truth. What's true is that I'm talking to you via a YouTube stream right now, but the truth is that we're all one, and this world is a hologram. What's true is that the world is going through a very, very challenging time right now that took us all by surprise. But the truth is this was written into the divine plan since it was created, before we started incarnating into it. Right? So there's always going to be a higher truth, and we're going to have to surrender what we thought was true but wasn't the truth. So can you get the difference there? So a lot of stuff. And here's the thing. All of the betrayals that have happened to us, all the loss of trust, part of our highly individualized curriculum, and we can play victim to that as long as we want. Until we get that, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Thank you for this gift of trust allows us to step out of victimization and go, oh, there was a larger lesson here for me to trust this, for me to trust me, for me to, instead of wanting someone to be telling me the truth so much that I will ignore my own truth. In other words, we're learning how to love ourselves. We're learning how to be true to ourselves. That now, I mean, the dissolution of the silver broom, there was deception going on there, the likes of which I'm still finding out about. I'm no longer a part of the coven that I started, and they got rid of me without even telling me. I had to find out through other people. Like, that's some shady stuff going on there. That's reprehensible. But that speaks more of their pain than anything I did. So any rumors that you hear about me, come to me directly and ask me. I will tell you the tea. Because I have no interest in anything other but the truth. Not just what's true, though that may change and evolve. The truth, right? Like, it was true that I was in 4th grade once. It's no longer true, right? Levels of that, you know, we grow and evolve through. Yeah, it is effed up, but part of the curriculum, because I have learned now that anybody who wants into my life will be given initial trust. But once that trust is gone, they're going to have to jump through some hoops, and I mean hoops of fire, to regain that trust. And that's just how it is. And look, everybody makes mistakes. And like I said, a lot of people believe things that are true that aren't. That's not, I mean, everybody falls for that. Somebody tells you something that they really believe is true. And usually those people have no problem apologizing. Look, I'm so sorry. I thought that was the truth. That you can feel, right? That I think the only way we're going to navigate through these next few years, if not even just this Pluto retrograde, is by really listening to the divine feminine within us, regardless of your gender, regardless of how you identify, to listen to our gut, to listen to something feels off here. If you see, because I was raised with, well, if an adult tells you to do something, do it. Adults lie, right? I was lied to a lot. I was talked into a lot of things that weren't great, particularly by my own father. Very untrustworthy person, a Gemini, speaking of Moon in Gemini that we're in right now. So, you know, what is our alternative? Our alternative is to turn towards that which cannot lie, which is our spirit, which is the soul, which is why meditation and stillness and silence is so important. Because here's what I learned, and this I learned from Eckhart Tolle, and I cannot recommend enough The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. You are not your mind. You're not the mind. We are not the mind, but we believe every thought that goes through it as gospel truth. Even the Socratic method is about questioning even that. Is that true? But is it true? Is it truth? God, what's her name? Byron Katie, Byronkatie, The Work. She has this wonderful process, The Work. I mean, some people take it to an extreme, but welcome to planet Earth. She'll say the 4 questions to ask yourself is it true? Can I absolutely know for sure that it's true? What am I like when I think that thought? And what would I be like if I never thought that? Right? And it's a good way of self-inquiry. So the question of have I been lied to? Is it true? Yeah. Can I absolutely know it's true? Yeah. What am I like when I think that thought? Upset. I feel betrayed. And what would I be like if I didn't think that thought? Well, I don't think I'd be better off. I've been lied to. But that also indicates that I've been lying to myself, because if I was listening more here, I wouldn't be able to be lied here, right? So then that lie, that deception was necessary. A grain of sand in the belly of the oyster that creates the pearl of wisdom. And so to get back to Matt Kahn for a moment, and don't worry, we're going to meditate and breathe and all that. We'll put this into practice. The first rule, the first golden rule of letting go in his book, The Universe Always Has a Plan, is you've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong, which means the people who lied and deceived did nothing wrong. The people who violated your trust did nothing wrong. Why? Because it's all written into the divine plan and it's all necessary. You cannot develop an antibody within the immune system without there being an antigen. You can't learn to trust your gut, to find the truth, unless you've been lied to. So is it all forgivable? Yeah, because it's all written into the script. And there's a near infinite number of quantum variables that we experience, and whatever ones we have experienced were the perfect ones for our growth and evolution, not for the comfort of the ego and the personality. That's the tea. Spilled it across the table and on to YouTube. There you go. That's the truth. I'll let you all breathe that. As you're all just chatting away, not paying attention to what I'm talking about, but I don't care. I do not care. And that's the truth, because this is like a confessional today for me. And I think we're going to need that rite of confession. It's so funny, the rite of confession. Sacrament, Christian sacrament, one I went through when I was a kid. And it's funny because I lied to the priest that I was confessing to because I couldn't think about anything. And what I lied to him was that I lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. So hard to believe he was married to Carrie Fisher, but, well, they were both short. There you go. So this is now where we get into the spiritual practice of our Sunday service here. Notice I don't say it's Sunday morning service because I may not get to it until later in the afternoon. When I give readings to people, I am giving them the tea, but I also know from the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, truth without compassion is brutality. So I have learned over the years to nibble the edges off the jagged little pill. Thank you, Alanis Morissette. Thank you, the divine moist towelette, wherever you are. To really cognize that, to really chew on that, to really think about that there are people who, readers, who will just tell you what you want to hear for money, and they're not really readers. There are people who can see the best that they can see and say to them, well, this is what I see. But if you've ever had a reading with me privately, I will tell you that this is just what's going on in the quantum right now, right? That the pursuit of truth is ancient and ongoing. But now that we've got Pluto going retrograde, and do your research. I just Googled it. I was just like, what does that mean? Like, what is Pluto retrograde? And it gave me the dates and it's going on. Melky, you are, you're so cute. He has this little gingerbread toy. Come on up, baby. Like, what's the truth? I love my boys. There. Oh, he's head bunk on my foot. Come on up, sweetheart. Come on, show everybody how cute you are. Look at how cute he is. I know he's black cat on him. Look at him. He's so cute. Boop. So cute. Lay down, lay down. Lay down for the mama. Oh, you're such a gentleman. He's just... Cats don't lie. At least mine don't. Well, because they can't talk. Like, how do you know a politician is lying? They're talking. So we're going to go into to some breath work first, and then we are going to find that still silent place within, because I think it's necessary that we understand the narrative that's going on in our own minds are not our own. They are electromagnetic wavelength chains, like radio broadcasts, that are going through our head, and even the process of questioning can take you down a rabbit hole that you don't come out of. But to just witness the thoughts, that's, people say, I can't meditate, I can't shut off my mind. That was never the point of meditation. The point of meditation was to witness those thoughts so that you can feel how they feel as they go through you. Meditation is incredibly simple, and the thing is most people don't realize they're meditating while they're watching the news, because they do this. But there's no process of discernment. That's the intuitive piece of it, the discernment. How does this feel? Not, let me go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and watch this video and read this vlog, watch this vlog, read this. There are certain truths. The power of light is always going to be stronger than the power of darkness. It just is, because darkness is the absence of light. Light is a thing unto itself. Deception, lies, shadow are an absence of truth. So the truth always wins out in the end, right? Pride goeth before the fall, because pride, well, really hubris is a better word. Pride goeth before the fall, hubris goeth before the fall, is because hubris believes it's better than everybody else and can get away with deception. Haven't we learned that? Haven't we learned that from society in general? And look, people will be talking about, this or that shadow government, whatever. I don't know whether it's true or not. I just don't care anymore. Like, it doesn't matter to me anymore. What matters to me is how much love am I feeling in the day, right? And not just that romantic love, that's been used to pull wool over my eyes way too many times. Believe me because I love you. No. Believe this because you love you, right? So we're going to find our center. And this is a practice. This is not a perfect. That's why it's called a spiritual practice and a spiritual perfect. To use the breath. To use the breath to come into the present moment. To inhale and exhale thoughts as they go. Cool, cool. So let's do exactly that. Take a minute. Get comfy. Get yourself in a position that you can stay in for a couple of minutes. By the way, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing my Buddha sweatshirt. My nieces and my nephews gave me this. My God, probably like more than 10 years ago. But it's like Buddha with a stereo system around him, which is kind of cool. And yes, I'm wearing pajamas. It's Sunday. Okay, here we go. You can do this eyes open or eyes closed. I'm going to probably do both, so I keep an eye on what's going on in the room. Right? Please breathe. I'm breathing in and out through the mouth. That is called the element of earth breath. There is also in through the nose, out through the nose. No. Sorry, in through the mouth, out through the mouth is the element of air, right? Because most air can come in and come out. The element of fire is in through the mouth, out through the nose. That's why it's a warming breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth is water. Very much sounds like the waves of the ocean at the beach. And then there is the earth breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And find one of the four elemental breaths that you feel comfortable with, at least to start with. You don't have to stay with it throughout. And just become aware of the breath that the mind has slowed down or stopped. The thoughts. The mind is but a mirror. The thoughts are just the reflections in it. To become aware of the mind, to become aware of the thoughts, is being the silent witness. The one who then decides what is true, what isn't, what to believe, what not to believe. And what is belief but the repetitive choice of a thought to be true? Whether or not it is, whether or not it is truth. A completely fallible system of choice until we learn. A completely necessary fallible choice system until we learn. Which is why forgiveness starts with, oh, I didn't know any better. No one does until they do. And without trying to stop the thoughts, just use the vehicle of the breath to bring you back into the present moment, that still point, that silent witness. But when a thought rises up, just exhale it on the next exhale that comes. And just do that with me for a few minutes. And of course, the mind will drift into thoughts, taking you into the past or the future. Just inhale when you notice it. And exhale that chain of thought. Exhale that train of thought. Going from a place of doing, which is thinking is a doing, into a place of being, which is the still, silent witness. Where nothing need be chosen except the breath. Where not even the intuitive function is a doing, it is an allowing, it is a being, a noticing and awareness. That we don't really have to plan so much, particularly where we are right now. In the present moment, what we need to do will be shown. Not from a place of belief or thinking, but from a place of instinct, from a place of intuition, from a place of a deep inner knowing of the soul, which does not lie. A hunch, a piece of guidance, a piece of grace. Just like a breadcrumb path through the forest of the unknown, taking us forward into our highest good and our greatest joy. But we have to learn as we go. We must learn to trust our own inner truth. We will no longer be able to be deluded, deceived, deceptive. And our trust will be restored upon that which never changes. The eternal nature of the soul. Let my choices be based on bedrock, not on the fluctuations of a world that always changes. For all that changes in this world cannot be eternal. All that rises, falls in this world, even my beliefs, rise and fall. So let me instead place my faith in that which is eternal and unchanging, the stillness, the silence, the awareness. Not that I need be without thought in this world, that is beyond what can be done, but that I can breathe through my thoughts, become aware that they are just thoughts, and that thoughts change, and what was true today may be untrue yesterday, and untrue tomorrow. But truth is immutable. Stillness is always at the core of who we are. Silence is always the foundation of the soul. For the soul does not think. The soul is. The soul does not feel. The soul is. The soul does experience thoughts. It does experience feelings and emotions, which are just like air and water. They flow through us, but they are not who we are. This is ancient truth. This is ancient wisdom. And one in a world that is constantly changing, in the crucible, being transformed. We must be willing to exhale what we thought was once solid truth and not be too recriminating of ourselves for believing what we were taught when we didn't know better. Because isn't that the maxim? The last words the ascended said on the cross, I'm not even Christian, but forgive them. They know not what they do. And forgive us. We knew not what we did. It's all a learning curve. And when we breathe our last breath in this life and inhale our next breath in the next world, we will be given the opportunity to look back and see that it was all a game, that it was all a play, that we were chosen to play these roles in these bodies with these names, believing things that were never true, as well as being led to truths that have always been truth. And that nobody got it 100% right, nobody got it 100% wrong. And that ultimately we're not held culpable for any of it, because the child of God cannot sin in a dream. And if a sin is an error that not even the gods can forgive, then they're not really gods. They're not really love. So allow us now in this moment to shed that which no longer serves, because it's being torn away from us anyway. That our sacred cows be led to slaughter, so that new truth, which was always there, can rise up into our awareness. That even those who hurt us, even if it looks like they meant to hurt us, they were just playing their role. Forgive them. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know any better. They thought they were their own pain and sought to pass it on. And in that, get rid of it, but that only reinforces it. Rather, I call upon the guides, the masters, the teachers, the gods, the goddesses, the saints, the angels, the totems, the healers, and the ancestors of truth to break the chains of illusion, to set all things to right, to reveal the truth that was hidden, and to bring that truth to light. Power of air, hear our plea, and bless our minds with clarity for the highest good, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. May you be blessed with peace of mind. May you be blessed with the light of truth. May all those who have deceived you apologize. And may you extend to them the compassion. For a time will come when the ones you have deceived will come looking for your apology. Because though you may have been in therapy for someone who's in therapy because of you, this is a hologram after all. We are all one. And what if the person you've deceived the most is yourself, wanting to believe something that was never true? But we didn't know. Therein lies forgiveness. But there's nothing to forgive. Thank you so much for watching today. Please, if you can, before I sign off, look at that little $sign at the bottom of your chat field. Hit it. It'll give you a sliding bar so you can donate some money if you have that set up on your phone, your computer, whatever. Or please, you can Venmo me. You can PayPal me. There's a PayPal me link all in the description box below. I know today was a bit of a rough service, but I think what we're going through right now, it's better to know the truth. And remember, you can handle the truth, but just take it as it comes. And when in doubt, breathe. Thank you, my friends. I'm going to go take a nap and get ready for my 2 p.m. reading. It's only a half hour, and it's with somebody I love very, very dearly. So wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of the day. You are very welcome. Say it with me as I always do. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.